Good evening, I'm Krisanach Gate. Welcome to APTN National News. Thank you for joining us. Winnipeg police have identified the body of a man that was found in a dumpster in a back lane on Friday. He is 30-year-old Bronson Emery Dale Kakwetaway. Kakwetaway was living in Winnipeg but was originally from Zakamea Anishinaabe in southeastern Saskatchewan. His family has been notified and the homicide unit is now investigating. Anyone with information is asked to call the homicide unit 204-986-6508 or Crime Stoppers. British Columbia RCMP are asking the public's help in locating an Indigenous elder who went missing in Richmond, BC last week. Richmond RCMP say 75-year-old Barbara Handslip has been missing since last Wednesday, March 26th, and police have concern for her well-being. She was last seen in the area of the Blundell Shopping Centre in Richmond, BC at around 9:50 a.m. Handslip does not live in Richmond and is unfamiliar with the area. She is Indigenous, 5 feet tall, 195 pounds with long black and gray hair. She was last seen wearing a blue jean jacket, blue jeans, a blue cap with rhinestones and a peace sign, and was carrying a small black backpack. Anyone with information is asked to contact RCMP or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477. Court hearings for a $2.1 billion CFS class action lawsuit put forth by 3 First Nations in Manitoba began today in Winnipeg. In a lawsuit they originally launched in October of 2022. The plaintiffs are Mississippiwistic Cree Nation Chief Heidi Cook, Black River Chief Sheldon Kent, Pimicikamak Chief David Monias, and the Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs. The statement of claims says they're seeking $2.1 billion in damages from Manitoba and Canada for First Nations harmed by the CFS system between 1992 and now. It alleges Canada and Manitoba failed to prioritize prevention and wellness services for First Nations children and families. This week, Manitoba Chief Justice Glenn Joyal will hear arguments to determine if the case should move forward as a class action lawsuit. Green Party co-leader Jonathan Pedno was in Whitehorse Monday, where he announced the party's new plan to tackle national defense. The Greens' National Civil Defense Corps plan aims to defend Canada while also promoting peace and emergency readiness. The plan entails creating 121,000 jobs in civil defense and providing free training for Canadians in areas like first air and cybersecurity awareness. It also includes increased funding for the Canadian Rangers and strengthening local defense initiatives led by Northern Indigenous communities. Pedno says the plan is not a call to militarization.
And this isn't about soldiers or missiles, this is about people. Our people, ensuring that we are ready to face fire, floods, cyber attacks, or foreign threats. That we are ready to serve and support one another, that we are ready to answer the call if and when needed.
Today was also the first official Two-Spirit and Transgender Day of Visibility in Manitoba. It's a day to celebrate and affirm diverse gender identities not regularly recognized by the general public but have always existed. An event was held at Manitoba's Legislative Building. A transgender person is someone whose gender identity doesn't align with the gender usually associated with their assigned sex at birth. Two-Spirit is a label some queer Indigenous people use to identify themselves with the traditional and cultural understandings of gender, sexuality, and social roles prior to colonization. Today is the first time the day was officially honored in Manitoba after a bill was passed last year. The provincial government announced $1.6 million towards community supports and inclusive health care for Two-Spirit and transgender Manitobans. Two-Spirit and drag performer Feather Wolf says the day is about more than visibility.
It's not just about visibility, it's about being able to exist openly without apology. It's about honoring all the parts of who we are, the parts that once were hidden, the parts we had to fight to understand, and the parts I can now celebrate. Learning that being true to myself comes with a cost: isolation, judgment, even danger. And I know that for so many of us, this is still the reality. Today, when I stand in front of you, in front of people with power, my friends, my family, it's not just to be visible, it's to be real.
It was a historic number of Juno wins for a number of Indigenous musicians. Tina House has that story when we come back in about 3 minutes. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Grand Council of Treaty Number 3 in Manitoba hosted an empowerment gathering for female youth and women with a focus on entrepreneurship and well-being. Tyler Shingoose was there and has more on that story.
Female community members from Treaty 3 gathered in Winnipeg on Thursday. The Grand Council and Investors Group from Treaty 3 partnered to host an empowerment gathering with a focus on entrepreneurship and well-being, where there were speakers, workshops, and vendors from Treaty 3. Laura Horton talked about her presentation as a keynote speaker.
It was an opportunity to share a few songs, and that we lifted the water and sang a song, Zagima Wabu, blessing the water and remembering that we are the life givers and we carry the life-giving water, and without water we have no life.
Horton talked about the importance of knowing who you are, as well as your options to make better choices for a better life.
Know who you are. Remember your teachings. Remember the gift of choice that we have been given. We must choose, and by choosing, you need to know what your options are and think critically about what the options are so that you make the best choice. And when you make the wrong choice, try again.
With over 15 different tables of vendors and information booths, the gathering opted to uplift women from Treaty 3 who are on their own entrepreneurial journeys. Lindsay Mainville brought her daughter to draw inspiration.
So I'm here today to learn and celebrate Anishinaabe Kwe in economics. And I also brought my daughter here, my youngest daughter. She's 7 years old. And I wanted to expose her to all of the role models that are here today and to show her that it is possible for her to become a future leader in economics as well.
As the event continues to grow, Mainville shared what she hopes to see more of in the coming years.
In the future years, I would like to see more featured Anishinaabe Kwe businesses, and also not only that, more youth, so more young people, so that they can be inspired and follow in their footsteps as well.
Tyler Shingus, APTN National News, Winnipeg.
Thank you, Tyler. Handcrafted Indigenous doll designs are becoming a big success. And for one Algonquin woman from Kitigan-Zibi in Quebec, she has created one-of-a-kind fashions. Here's APTN's Annette Francis with that story.
I trace the dress out on leather and I cut it out, and then I'll sew it right to her body. So there's no taking the clothes off. It's more for a display.
Cassandra Tolley has honed her skills at indigenizing dolls. Her creations have become quite a hit.
They've been selling off the shelf. I can't even make them. I make them and they sell so fast.
The idea came to her in the summer of 2023.
So I had the doll laying around one day, and then I saw my material, my extra material from my jingle dress, and I figured, oh my God, I'll make the doll to match. So I did this to match my doll, and I bring her with me to powwows when I'm dressed up, and I, take photos with her and stuff. So I decided to make more dolls after that to represent different dancers and, drummers.
Her creativity is something that was passed down.
I learned from my mother, Charlene Tolley. I started doing earrings and dream catchers, and then I went on from there. So now I have a range of all kinds of things I do.
Tolley uses all natural materials as much as possible, like leather, shells, drums, feathers, and medicines. Each doll is one of a kind.
I did it's called the Red Moon Woman. She was designed after the blood moon we had the other day. And I worked on her all night, stayed up, got to take a picture with her with the moon. And in Anishinaabe, it's Miskwa Gisokwe, meaning red moon woman. And she also has a drum, which is made of real hide and real wood.
Her dolls sell upwards to $250 each, but for a child who wants one, she's willing to barter.
It's important for kids to see their culture in these dolls. And, when you go to a store, you just see the regular dolls, right? So this is something that they love, and they want to be like the doll. It's nice to see yourself in a doll, right?
So proud of her. Annette Francis, APTN National News, Kitigan-Zibi in Quebec.
That's so cool. Thank you for that story, Annette. The 2025 Juno Awards wrapped up last night in Vancouver. From the orange carpet to the big stage and to the historic wins, Indigenous talent from across the country shined bright. APTN's Tina House was there and has this breakdown of the winners.
The Junos 2025 rolled into Vancouver with a bang as the best of the best of Canadian talent came to celebrate and be honored for their achievements. Kicking it off with a week-long block party hosted by Let's Hear It BC. For 5 days, all across the city, audiences were treated to free live performances and their chance at holding the coveted Juno for photo ops. Here at the Carnegie Community Centre, more free concerts showcased Juno nominees, including Adrian Sutherland, who comes from James Bay, Ontario. And this year, there were 67 nominations for the 20 Indigenous artists who were nominated. Adrian was nominated in the Contemporary Indigenous Artist or Group of the Year category.
It's a huge number. I think it's a huge win, and it's a real, it's really good for music, you know, overall. So awesome, and congratulations to all of the other Indigenous artists and nominees.
And many of those artists were nominated in mainstream categories. The Snotty Nose Rez Kids were up for Rap Album of the Year, which was announced at a gala the night before the televised awards.
And the Juno for Rap Album EP goes to, should we say together? Snotty.
We caught up with the Snotty Nose Rez Kids to talk about their first time win.
Enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
Enjoying the moment.
It was a moment that was able to like freeze time for us. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Rap Album of the Year, Juno's 2025. Did you guys think this would ever happen?
Yeah, I did think this was going to happen, and I thought it was going to happen for this album. And you know, like that's what it is about Red Future. It's about seeing yourself in where you want to be. You know, and that's like just to go like even our the single of the year, we got a nomination for that, Big Braid Energy. It's about finding your confidence, finding who you are, and just being proud of that.
Here on the orange carpet, it was the who's who in the music industry, including rapper Maestro Fresh Wes.
I'm excited to perform, man. I'm opening it up with Michael Bublé. You know what I'm saying? So we got Bublé and you got some bars, so it's gonna be dope.
Canadian rocker Sum 41 also walked the carpet and played their final show at the awards. Elissa P., who is from Saluit, Nunavik, won a mainstream category Juno Award for Adult Alternative Album of the Year, which was announced on Saturday night at the gala.
I'm just very moved to see how this album and what I do, the songs that I bring out there have an impact on people. I think that's such a privilege. So I'm just want to say I love you, I feel you, I just want to, I'm just really happy also that everything feels like things are widening up and getting bigger, and we can actually feel like we are being seen and heard, and we can fly high.
Tia Woods from the Saddle Lake Cree First Nation was also nominated in the Contemporary Indigenous Artist or Group of the Year category. She's performing for the live televised awards. She walked the orange carpet with her mom and grandma by her side.
I always say, you know, whenever I step onto any stage or into any room, I have the strength of my people on me, you know, like my res, the matriarchs that have come before me. And, you know, I would just say, you know, we're at a very special time right now when it comes to Indigenous representation. We're just at the brink of it. You know, we're seeing ourselves on runways and on the radio and on TV, and it's just the tip of the iceberg, and it's coming. There's a wave coming.
I love it. What do you want to say about your granddaughter tonight?
Oh, I feel like I won the Juno, just being there. I'm so proud of her.
Sebastian Gaskin won the Contemporary Indigenous Artist or Group of the Year Juno Award, and the Black Bear Singers walked away with the Traditional Indigenous Artist or Group of the Year Juno Award.
It feels really good. It's like a huge accomplishment for the group, for the families back home.
And finally, it was time for the Snotty Nose Rez Kids and Tia Wood to perform live at the 2025 Juno Awards. Tina House, APTN National News, Vancouver.
Great story, Tina. Thanks for that. Indigenous minor hockey was front and center recently in Winnipeg. That story when we come back. Welcome back. Time now for our photo of the day. Clarence Jones shares a dusk spring sky from the Gitxsan Nation. A big thanks to Clarence for that picture. For the chance to be our next photo of the day, send us your photos to share@aptn.ca. Now let's take a look at tomorrow's weather forecast. Starting on the east, rain in St. John's at 9, Charlottetown -2. Cartwright -5, the Grand River -17. Gaspé -4, Saguenay -3. 4 in Peterborough, London 4. Timmins -3, Sudbury rain and -2. -14 in Churchill, Thompson -5 and partly cloudy. 2 in Gimli, Winnipeg 3 and rain. Yorkton -2, Saskatoon 2. 0 in La Ronge, Stony Rapids -5. 3 in Peace River, Fort McMurray 0. 8 in Lethbridge, Calgary 10. 15 in Penticton, Cabell River 12. 7 in Prince George, Dease Lake 2. 1 in Watson Lake, Mayo 2. Wrigley -2, Fort Simpson -3. Fort McPherson -5, Colville Lake -7. -24 in Baker Lake, Chesterfield -22. In Arctic Bay -24, Igloolik -26. After a thrilling Senior A hockey playoff season in Saskatchewan, the crowd favorite Round Lake Bears almost won the title. The finals went to Game 3 after the Bears won Game 1 8-4 and the Kenaston Blizzards took Game 2 7-5. Game 3 saw the Blizzards claim the championship 8-3, their 4th straight championship in this league. Before Saturday night's loss, the Bears received widespread support. National Chief of the Assembly of First Nations Cindy Woodhouse-Nepanak dropped the puck for Game 2, and Terry Ryan, who plays Ted Hitchcock on the hit TV series Shoresy, sent his support through a video message on social media. The 35th annual Manitoba Indigenous Cultural Education Centre Indigenous Minor Hockey Tournament took place this past weekend in Winnipeg. It brings in roughly $2 million for the city, and it also kicks off spring break for many kids. APTN's Tiara Waitley was there and brings us some of the sights and sounds.
My name is Anna Pronto. I work at the Manitoba Indigenous Cultural Education Centre as the operations manager. I help Dennis Daniels, our executive director, to host the tournament every year. And we have 72 teams this year, 1,200 kids from all across Manitoba and Nunavut. And just to see how they've grown and to follow their progress. And we've seen some of them get drafted to the NHL.
Okay, hi, I'm Jamie Garrow. I am from Cross Lake, Manitoba, and I am Cree. I am 14 years old. I played for the Norman Wild this past season, and it's just been amazing with them, but now I finally get returned home with the people I always play with. My nan likes to make ribbon skirts, and she actually made this one I'm wearing. Do fasting every once in a while when we can. It's just like a 2-day, no eating, give back to the creator, you know. And then I also go to Sundances. We do it yearly. What I learned from my culture is just to kind of be yourself, to give back to the community and like the earth and stuff. And then from the hockey side, I learned how to work with people.
Get at him! Stay at him!
Hi, Gabriel Sander-Tanner from Moraine, Kenilworth, Nunavut. We're here to watch my son Solomon playing for the Kivalliq Junior Canucks. He's the main boy that gets us out of Nunavut. He gets picked pretty much every year. And we've been to Thompson, Brandon, here.
The nurse, my son told her that he's a hockey player. And then I started telling her, yeah, he won this medal. He has this trophy at home. And then she goes, oh, okay. One day I'm going to see you in the NHL. Can I get your autograph?
But I got 22 instead.
Hi, I'm Howard Dorian. I am 16 years old. I am from Cross Lake, Manitoba, and I play with the Cross Lake Islanders. U18. I like hockey because it's all I really had when I was a little kid, so everything I do is like, I always want to be at the rink. Hockey taught me really a lot. Just like make friends, play hard.
Not to be negative about it, but there is, sometimes you encounter racism in sports, and so for kids to come here and play against other Indigenous kids, I think that's one less thing to worry about when they play, right? And it's also just the battle of our communities, right? They want to know who's the best team from what res they're from. So.
Ella Baird, this is APTN National News.
Awesome, Ella. From all of us at APTN National News, hi miigwech masicho kwana. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next day.